We are live. I am live. You're live in your own life. You may be live with me. You may be live listening later, not live, but either way, you're alive if you're hearing this. So yay, because being alive is the greatest gift. Cheers. I hope everybody who receives these words today feels the magic whispers of all creation fall upon your ears in the most beautiful way. I hope that it feels like adventure and what's next and the inkling of a surprise. I wanted to go on live today to talk about passion, so I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be a pretty casual call, so call, live, whatever you want to call it, gathering. It's going to be pretty casual. I don't know how long I'll go, but you're so welcome in this space, in our space shared together. Thank you for being you as always. And we will get into it in just a moment. Multiple beverages going on is a fun thing that I love. You can never have too many beverages surrounding you. Oh, so welcome to this space. Hello. Passion. Passion is fun. Passion is life-giving. Passion feels like the edge of the most heightened, next level, highest evolution. Passion feels like being connected to your soul. Passion feels like being connected to your heart. Passion feels like being connected to your body. Passion feels like being connected to your why and your reason. Passion feels like something you stumble across that you didn't know you wanted. And then passion is also encountering that thing that you've known you always wanted and it's finally there for you. Passion, just feel into the word. It's really special. Pasión. I don't know any other languages. It's a really special frequency. And I wanted to give passion a shout out because I wanted to explore why it's like your best friend, why it's a part of you that is meant to be normalized. And I love the idea of how the more we're finding alignment and the more we're understanding what our own unique nature is, like how do I flow? How does it feel good for me to be in my life, living my dreams and fulfilling my desires? How does that feel in a more normal way where it's not like this big overarching like goal that you're one day going to realize and then everything will change? Like that whole idea of us arriving or mountaintop experiences, they're beautiful. They're a part of the human experience. And yet I find it even more exciting than having a mountaintop experience is having a natural rhythm with your own fire. I think that's a pretty amazing way of putting it. Finding your own normalness, your own naturalness around your inner fire and how it is a stabilizing, supportive grounding. We think of grounding as only being earth energies, and passion is very fiery, and yet fire is an element that only happens, well, it doesn't only happen on earth, but it happens on this earth in a really grounded way. You can't have fire without it being connected to something earthy. I love the idea of wood and fire coming together to make an experience. And it's so important for us to remember that we're our own unique, beautiful cocktail of frequencies, of emotions, of experiences, of beliefs, all these things that make like the you. It's a perfect little cocktail that your higher self whipped up because they're like the master bartender. And somehow the finished result was you, and you're that beautiful sweet drink that someone that understands you and knows you energetically, they're like wanting to take a sip of. So that was kind of a different illustration. But this idea that what makes us so special brings forth unique feelings, and we're able to express them creatively with our life, with what we make, with our conversations, with our connections, with everything. We're able to bring that out into the world, and when it's received, it just feels so good. It feels so satisfying. And yet what draws the world to you is your magnetic frequency, your magnetic being, and that is most happening and most dominant when pure love is being exuded and when you're in passion. And I want to give a little bit of attention to this idea of passion being like an engine, or like the fuel of your engine. So we all know that there's different ways to go about the planet, and sometimes it feels better to walk, sometimes it's cool to ride a horse, sometimes you want to drive, but whatever vessel or vehicle you're using to get somewhere, you want it to be properly functioning. You want it to feel easy to travel that way. So if you want a horse, you want it to be healthy. If you want to walk, you want to feel like your legs are strong and mobile and holding you. If you are driving, you want your car to be a well-oiled machine, and you want it full of gas, and you want it just ready to go, like it just wants to go. Pedal to the floor and like, boom, we're on here. Or flying. It's like you want that thing to stay in the sky. That's a fun thought. So the idea is that your passion is one fuel that drives your life. There's other ways that we can experience life. There's other frequencies, and they're all beautiful. None are better than the other. But I do believe that passion is an experience that, as a whole, as human beings, we have really felt like there are moments that we have, or certain people who are just maybe very artistic, they have their passion when they do their craft, or moments of passion, like the culmination of something, and it's a passionate moment. And it's all true. And yet, as we do understand the evolution and how we're holding more light in our bodies, and we're holding more of ourselves, we're accessing more of ourselves, more of our heart, that love light energy. As we're containing more of that in our bodies, we are able to contain much more passion. Because essentially, passion is such a high frequency that if you're not calibrated and in balance, you will feel exhausted afterwards. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just an interesting way to measure and monitor the energy. So one of the things that's really strong on my heart and feels so important, that I don't hear a ton of conversation around, that I am creating conversation and welcoming all you to join me, is that your passion is meant to feel really natural, really normal. Like, oh, it's just a state you enter into. Just like when you're reading, you get real focused and you zone in. It's just very natural. You're not trying really hard to achieve a certain state when you read. You just fall into it. And we all have moments and areas in our life where passion is obvious and we can understand, okay, this is why I experienced that. But this idea of, I have to find work that's passion driven, or I have to create this feeling of passion, or I have to like somehow figure out how it works, all of that can kind of start to fall on the wayside when we get back in touch with our true nature and how we're actually meant to live in our nature. So the way in which we're meant to live is very much connected to our hearts. Every day we're doing a better job. Every day we're getting more and more where we don't need to intend on it. We're just coming back to it because we've practiced it for so long. It's like a circuit that's really become strong. Less lapses in between that connection. The connection's always there, but our ability to feel it connect and to notice it is happening more and more. So go us. So this idea that you form a new relationship with yourself, where you're like, okay, I don't need to feel like this because I see somebody else doing it, or I don't need to achieve this state that I have this idea about. I can simply let all thoughts go, and all ideas go, and all assumptions go, and I can just begin to relax. And you can just take a breath. And you can begin to understand how relaxation, whether it is in a way that you really feel it deeply in your body and you're aware of it, you've cultivated it, you've allowed it to happen, or just your energetic sense of your energies are relaxed. They're very natural. They're very in tune. They're interacting and playing with life. The ideas and the thoughts come, but they're not taking the driver's seat. You are in a dance with life. And what happens is the more you allow yourself to find out what's my true nature. We all have the right formulas and the right structures to create a practice of knowing ourselves and loving ourselves more fully. But I really encourage you to relax even those ideas and just create the sort of energetic attitude of, I'm going to know myself in a really natural way. I'm going to feel what feels easy and right for me. And I'm going to notice if something feels exciting, what that feels like. And I'm going to notice how there's nothing wrong with this interesting mix of experiences and sensations that I have going on. Whatever the today feels like, it's all perfect because I am a miracle and I'm expressing and knowing myself in a way that is new. How amazing am I? How perfect am I that I get to know myself in a way that doesn't feel forced? It's like I'd like to bring in the idea of you're a kid, and you're a little kid, you're like 6 or 7, and you just moved into a new area and kind of wondering what's going on today. Like, I wonder who lives on this block, and are there any parks nearby? And you're allowed to venture a little bit away from your home, just a little bit, and you notice there's another kid out there playing, and right away, boom, it's a no-brainer. You just go to that other little person and you just connect if the energies are right. And kids, what do when they make a friend? They're just, boom, we're on board, we're doing this. There's no like getting to know each other. They get to know each other through their play. And then you fast forward maybe into the teen years and it's not quite so easy and natural. I mean, it can be, but it absolutely can be. But often there's this awkwardness of like ideas, perceptions, how do they think about me, assuming things about the other person, feeling insecure, all this stuff, all the tension of just being the angst of the hormones and whatever. So sort of the difference in approach of how you can know yourself, just connecting, dropping all assumptions and being like, there's something really exciting here and it's relaxing and it's grounding, versus judging ourselves, letting our thoughts run too wild, not pushing our thoughts away. And the reason I'm getting into this conversation now about feeling at ease with ourselves is because passion finds its way like water going down a groove, like the water taking the path of least resistance. Naturally, passion just floods into your experience when you're very relaxed with yourself and when you're open and when you feel like curious about things. And so I think this is where I'm going to kind of bring it full circle is, yes, it's absolutely true that when you're doing the work that you love, or you're really creating and dedicating more time for the things that you love, you're creating more opportunity for passion, and it's going to fuel you. It is like the fuel that makes the trip effortless and fast-paced in the most normal way. It feels very comfortable. It feels very supportive. It feels like, ooh, I'm here for the ride. Like let's go. I'm here for this. Like single-minded creation. Taking your creation and going so streamlined. That's how passion feels as an engine that drives your life, makes things easy. And the thing that I'm tying into this is that we don't have to go searching for topics and ideas and work and hobbies and stuff to live a passion-filled life. Those things are supportive and absolutely go do them. But just know that underneath all of that, there's you just already being the fullness of who you are. And when you tune in with the easiness and the love that's automatically there and the desire to be alive, passion's going to come to you all the time, and it's going to feel, you're going to get to know the full range of passion. You're going to get to know what it feels like to be you, not in comparison with anything that you see other people do or, hear other people do. Everything around us are signals and pointers and arrows saying, that's in you too, that's in you too. But the ultimate gift you can give yourself, and the ultimate way in which you can live a passion-filled life, is to just really cultivate and become comfortable with the most intimate relationship with you and your heart, and to relax into your moments. Relax into, okay, it's just me. It's just me. It's just me living my life, letting more curiosity in, letting more spaciousness come in, letting life indicate and light up to me what I don't even know I'm passionate about. I didn't even know that this is the next thing I wanted to do today. I didn't even know this was the kind of lunch I wanted to eat. I didn't even know that this was the picture I wanted to draw, the friend I wanted to call, or whatever. Life will indicate to you, it will spark. You'll see sparks throughout your day where that natural, relaxed easiness of being with who you are, which includes all aspects of who you are. Ooh, I'm feeling a lot of anxiety today. Ooh, I'm going to call it that. I'm just going to call it anxiety. I'm not even going to say I have it. I'm just going to notice, ooh, these sensations are, they're intense, and they're so welcome here because I love who I am. And I'm going to notice that as I see them and welcome them and let them be what they are, they're just going to transform into something next, and it's going to completely surprise me. And you get it? It's like this idea of coming back to yourself before you get too caught up in your head about achieving a certain state. It's so beautiful. The power of intention is the most potent when you're already at ease. Because we're not stubbornly trying to create and say, this is how it's going to be. We are allowing ourselves to have deep conviction over the truth that feels so natural. And it feels so supportive. And it sustains us. It gives life and opportunity to us. So to tie this up, it's the idea of, yes, like Bashar puts it, being passionate about being passionate, having passion for passion, taking things more back to square one, starting with who you are, and creating the space to just breathe in and let the energies that are naturally already there for you just come on in, come on in. And so much of that is that energetic attitude that we put towards how we're going to live a life, how we're going to have our day. Ooh, I'm just going to be really easy with myself today about however I'm feeling. I'm just going to be really open. I don't actually know what's going to happen today. I have some ideas, but I don't really know. I think it's going to be better than I ever knew. So I think that's my share on passion today. So thank you for joining me. And I send you all my celebration and all my joy and all my excitement for all that your life is unfolding into and the perfection of who you are. And I will see you next time. I love you.